state, every city has its own culture when it comes to the celebration of New Year's. Right now we are in Manali and this is the famous Mall Road, and you see behind me is the practice for the Winter Carnival, which begins on the 2nd of January here in Manali. So this in particular is Nati dance, or the traditional Nati dance of the local people over here. In fact, this dance form goes back to almost 150 to 200 years. In fact, the music which is also being played, this is also live music. All the instruments are played and these are all traditional instruments. In fact, the sound you hear right now sounds similar to bagpiper, and they say bagpiper has its own origin, and in fact this piece of music instrument also go way back to the time when the bagpipers were invented. Well, not only this, but this is a very interesting competition which happens between the people of Manali. In fact, let me explain what this tradition exactly is. What happens is Beas river flows from Manali. What happens is on right side there is one group of ladies which practice on one day, and on the left side there is another group of ladies which practice on another day. In fact, today this is the practice session of the females of the left side of the Beas river, and in fact this tradition goes way back to 150 years. It's not just in Manali, but every part in Himachal Pradesh has its own folk music and folk dance. This very tradition is part of rich heritage and rich culture of Manali and Himachal Pradesh. In fact, we see how people in cosmopolitan cities celebrate New Year's and Christmas, but this is a very unique way of celebrating New Year's, where all the traditions are kept intact, and in fact they're kept in mind while celebrating any sort of event. This happens every year, and in fact this is one of those things which is considered to be one of the key tourist attractions for the people outside Shimla, Manali and Himachal Pradesh. In fact, there's a huge influx of tourists as of now in Manali. You can see this is the Mall Road, and in fact this practice session is on for last 30 minutes, and in fact this goes on for good 2 hours, because the final competition or the final showdown between the two sides will be happening from 2nd January to the 6th of January. We are here on the Mall Road of Manali to bring you a lot of celebration, a lot of fun with traditional ways.
कॉन्फिडेंट है
Like I told you, it's a very unique way of the people to celebrate this New Year's in a very unique manner. And I have with me the MLA of Manali constituency, Mr. Gauss. Sir, thank you so much for speaking to CNN News 18. So first of all, I would want to understand what this tradition exactly is and how long we can talk about his history.
See, first of all, I would like to tell you that the Winter Carnival Manali is going to be starting on the 2nd. This is just a rehearsal for the event. We call it Nati. So we're going to have around 300 or 275 odd Mahila Mandals who are going to participate in a traditional dance which is called the Nati. This is a Pahadi dance where women as well as men also, but this is particularly for women, and they're all coming in their traditional attire, and we are going to have a grand carnival here when the winter carnival starts, and all these women in their traditional dresses are going to dance simultaneously all around the Mall Road.
So it will be a sort of competition between, because one gentleman over here told me that from the left side of the Beas and the right side of the Beas, there's some sort of competition.
It'll be a competition between the two banks of the river, the left bank and the right bank. We have women from both the banks who are participating in this, and so as to make it a better placed event where the participants feel that they have to perform in a better organized way, so that they feel that there is something for them if they perform better. That's the reason this has been done.
So one last question. As an MLA of Manali, there's a huge influx of tourists every year on New Year's. How well the authorities are prepared to welcome all the tourists from across the India and across the world?
So you must have realized we have a lot of international and domestic tourists who are here to celebrate New Year's Eve today, and a very large amount of people are here in this town. The local administration and the local stakeholders, they are all in sync with each other, and everybody is trying to make this time of the year a grand success because of all the tourists coming in. We hotels and all the other stakeholders, they also feel secure because you realize we had a lot of flash floods this year and the tourist season was limited. So what we feel now is, due to the New Year coming up and all these festivities going on, tourist inflow will increase, and people who come to Manali will get a different feeling altogether about the rich culture, the rich traditions, our food habits, the way we wear our clothes and everything. This will be a grand local traditional festival which we are going to show to the whole world.
Thank you so much, sir, for speaking to CNN News 18. Well, the authorities are all set and all ready to welcome huge number of tourists from across the world, be it the domestic travelers or international travelers.